Everybody waiting to see if a Deshaun Watson suspension happens, how long that Deshaun Watson suspension would potentially be. In the meantime, the question becomes, what happens if Jacoby Brissett is the Browns starting quarterback for a significant amount of time? Mina, Adam Schefter of ESPN on ESPN's NFL Live talked about, can the Browns be a playoff team if Jacoby Brissett is their quarterback for a significant amount of time?
I don't see the Browns as a playoff team with Brissett. Maybe if there was a 4-game suspension. Sam talked about how easy that front of the schedule is. But not only do they play in a very difficult decision with two teams, the Bengals and the Ravens, that I think are clearly better, they also play in an unbelievably stacked AFC. And while Jacoby Brissett, I think, has proven himself to be one of the better backups in the NFL, he is a backup for a reason. Since coming to the league in 2016, ranks 41st in passer rating, 47th in yards per attempt, 46th in sack ratio, which has been an issue with them, even playing behind a good offensive line. I just don't think he can give them enough to really compete in such a stacked conference.
And that is the whole point there, right, Mina? Because you not only have to beat out all the other AFC North teams, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bengals, who went to the Super Bowl last year. But then you look in the AFC West, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Broncos, everybody's better. So if the Browns don't win the division in a very tough AFC North where they've struggled to win that division, then they have to find a way to beat out a couple of those other teams, and that's very difficult to do. And so the pressure will be on Jacoby Brissett. And even though this roster is stacked and strong at certain positions, and it might change the way it plays without Deshaun Watson running the ball even more, relying on a really good defense, it's still going to be a monumental challenge for this team to break through.
Let's welcome in Eddie McDonald from Dog Pound Daily. Eddie, I know you've written on this very topic. Jacoby Brissett as a starter. What are your thoughts?
So yeah, some of the language in that was a bit harsh for Jacoby, I guess. But I get the premise of it. I get that he's not a starter. He's not a starter for a reason. Some see that his chance in Indy came and went, but that roster was not good there. It just wasn't. And of course, my cat is coming through to talk Browns football, naturally. But yeah, Brissett is a game manager, and that's all he has to do. He has to manage them to a 500 or better record in the absence of Watson, whether that's 4 games, which is much more doable to win at least 2 games, if not more. With that easy front-loaded schedule, as Mina just said. But, the defense behind him, if they can, hold some of those opposing quarterbacks that they're going to see, like the Joe Burrows, Lamar Jackson, they have Justin Herbert and Tom Brady if they get that far without Watson. Josh Allen is on that schedule. So, yeah, it's very tough, but it's doable. So I don't think that this is a Super Bowl team with them. I do absolutely think they can make the playoffs with him if he's a starter for anywhere from 4 to 10 games. 10 is a little bit far-fetched for the playoff making if he has to go 5-5, but it's not entirely out of the question. I think people were dismissing him way too early.